It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your...
Well now, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well as yours, maybe I'd still be walking around today. Where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world. Ha! Fresh out of the crypt, are you? No, we are abnormal. It's why we hide in the shadows. Or walk about like you still had flesh on your bones in your case. You even have yourself a silky mortal voice. How much do you think I get out? All I know is there are more like you. Well, not quite like you. But sorcerers collared on this tub, all heading to Fort Joy. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine. Still, you'd best keep that mask on. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
You are you, but more. You are another, but not. You look to your hands, your belly, your feet. Flesh you don't know, molded into unfamiliar shapes. You cradle your aching head, where another's memories and wisdoms mix with your own. Your fingers trace a line from your head to your face, feeling not the creases of the mask, but the porous surface of new skin. You lower your arm, blink twice, and step forward in this new guise.
An animal's sty. Freight or food? Boring.
Did you expect a needle? Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
You there. Come here.
Should have known there'd be trouble.
I'm not one to let sleeping dogs lie.
Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a...
Empty.
Good thing I didn't worry about splinters.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Ah, freedom. Tastes better than wine. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set you free, lad. Say your prayers while you...
would he have to gain by killing me? Strange forces are at work.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
Why, there you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they? Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutin.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need... A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. For your own peace of mind.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
You've been collared and you've been told...
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. We'll find out who did
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Figured as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. I just want to catch whoever did this before. It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
What a well of knowledge this tome is.
Rubbish.
Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
Come on, please, Losa.
A no doesn't become a yes over time, you know.
It was one of them. I know it.
Wow. Are you a dragon? I'm here because I'm magic.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly, deathly allergical.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers herself and nods pointedly at the
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
The children break out into
I say, it...
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You'd presume right. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an... You take care.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own.
Name?
They're picking us off one by one.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy, which...
Sure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
Mad?
Here to register, sir. Good. You faring okay so far?
course I do. Seems Voidwalk can dog your heels like a shit. You'll see. You head on in now.
Why won't you sing?
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eye.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire. Well, I've got this one.
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Murder? Ah, that... I wouldn't know any... I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it. And the mayor...
His eyes flutter shut, and he...
Whether they catch me is another matter. But I ain't one to hide my accomplishments.
Coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
He turns his head toward you, looking you up and down, and...
You look like a boy to me. Listen, if you're interested. Or get gone if you are. The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you.
And?
You clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
You, Jill, is that right? I've a few questions for you. Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless... But there's more. Listen close.
You better be ready to talk here.
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Got this wolf on a leash now.
No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman... Pardon my beard. That means... if we've been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. Captain, actually. And that
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Forgive me, kin. Meanwhile,
Well, well. What have we?
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Overboiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime. I shall hold my head steady.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Well, we've got this wolf on a leash now. As soon as the Inquisitor gets
And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils.
Surely.
So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right?
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. You'll never attain the rank of slave with still. Hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it. I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your...
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it
pinches less that way.
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across it. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants. No, the dead man. Fane, is it? I'd no business with him.
He glances over at Magister Victor.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested part. The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow up.
What are you conspiring about?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet.
Name.
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he...
Away with you.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Jill, is that right? I've a few questions for you. You are Jill, aren't you? I ain't saying.
Lucky find.
Bloody dwarves. I'll come back to you, and you better be ready to talk.
The Magisters are out for blood.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetite.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one. A rolling die, deciding fates. Don't worry, honey.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a...
Never say never, though.
She smiles, contemptuous.
Just a kitten in a corner.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always come closest to our divine. We'll hang you right over the side of this ship.
How dare you classify this slop as
The woman keeps rolling her dice. She pays you no...
plague-stricken pigs?
There's nothing else.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the...
There you are. Not too tight, I hope. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course.
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment.
My word. You do seem a... Oh, well, I'm sure you'll... A new life awaits.
Empty.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a...
Easy now. Why don't you move along? Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. It's a small... We'll find out.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most
Never
foul.
thought you'd end up a
And I
prison
strongly
guard.
suspect you know all about it.
That right?
Do you?
I always knew you'd
Well,
turn out
perhaps
rotten
you're
Ben Nest.
absolutely right.
Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hand you right over the side of this ship with him.
This again?
I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
Me mad?
Mad? Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough. Listen.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Never thought you'd end up a
You
prison
seem on
guard,
edge,
Vic.
officer. What on earth is the matter?
I always knew you'd turn
Murder
out
most
rotten
foul,
Ben Nest.
and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Your kind always
Do
hung
you?
closest to our divine,
Well, perhaps you're
wolves around a
absolutely right.
campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hand you right over the side of this ship with him.
Locked.
Forget it. How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. You faring okay so far?
There's nothing else I can read.
Trust me, you head on it.
Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable.
Got this
I've
wolf
never
on a
dined
leash
on
now.
anything less than a dozen-course dinner,
As soon
and
as
I
the
don't
Inquisitor
intend to
gets
do away
here,
with the
we'll hand you right over the side of this ship with him.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard.
Shoot to kill. Keep those bolts trained on her, and
You
if she
seem on
tries
edge,
to
officer.
run, shoot to
What
kill.
on earth is the matter?
Your
seem
kind
on edge,
always
officer.
hung
Murder
closest
most
to our
foul.
on earth is the
I
matter?
strongly suspect you know murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you
got
know all
this
about it.
wolf
Well,
on a leash
perhaps
now.
you do you? Well,
As soon as the
perhaps you're
Inquisitor gets here,
absolutely
we'll
right.
hand you right over the side of this ship with him.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by him.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor...
Yes, I did. But
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
there are others whose lives must end.
Good God! The woman, you there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a...
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Mask! She stole it. If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.